think he's the ER expert, isn't he? Yeah. Okay, as folks are wandering back, our city manager team, I think, brilliantly figured out that we got a light agenda next week, so we could actually kick items 8.1 and 10.2 to next week, so we could wrap things up with this hearing.
Does that need a motion?
It does.
I will make a motion to defer 8.1 and 10.2 to next week.
Second.
Okay. I'm counting to see if I got enough folks around here to vote. I think I do if we count the folks online. Yep. So Tony, let's vote on that motion from Councilmember Esparza.
Jimenez? Perales?
Yes.
Cohen?
Aye.
Roscoe? Davis?
Yes.
Esparza?
Yes.
Arenas?
Yes.
Foley?
Aye.
Mahan?
Aye.
Jones? Liccardo?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Nothing secures unanimity like procrastination. Okay, so that brings us to our final item of the evening, which is the San Jose City Council District Redistricting Public Hearing. That's item 3.3. And I want to thank the members of the community who stuck it out with us here for your patience. I would note that this is the first of 3 hearings we're going to have as required by law. This is the only evening meeting, however, that we have, and so we know it's difficult for a lot of folks to weigh in during different times of the day. Given the fact that this is an opportunity for us to hear from the public, I'd certainly be happy to entertain any motions around constraining council discussion so we can simply be focused on the public input.
So moved. Well, I guess I'll make more specific. I'll move that tonight we're listening to public comment and we won't have council comments.
Second.
Okay. The motion and second. The idea is that this is merely a hearing for us to hear from the public. And we'll have 2 more hearings. We can decide what we want to say then.
Yeah, and there's also a closed session on Friday.
And there's a closed session on Friday, so we got lots of more opportunity. Councilor Cohen, you have your, is that from before? Okay. All right, any comments on this motion? All right, let's vote.
Jimenez? Perales?
Yes.
Cohen?
Aye.
Roscoe?
Aye.
Davis?
Yes.
Esparza?
Yes.
Arenas?
Yes.
Foley?
Aye.
Mahan?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Liccardo?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go straight to public comment. Nora, did you have anything you want to say before we jump into public comment?
Thank you, Mayor. No, I just wanted to point out to the council that this Friday will be closed session to answer legal concerns that you may have on this issue. So we will have the Friday morning session available for that input for the council. Thank you.
I also have a brief presentation, but we can hold that till next week before council discussion. It just talks about the votes from the Redistricting Commission, and it's very brief.
Okay.
But we can wait
If
until
you'd like
council
to, you
discussion
certainly
next
can.
week.
We were only quieting ourselves, not staff.
Okay, I'm going to go through it real quick because I think
Yeah, let's do that.
the public should know some of this.
Yes.
But I'm not going to read every slide. Redistricting is required by law. We have a lot of questions from people saying, why are you even doing this? We have to do this. Every 10 years, the U.S. Census updates, and we are required by state, federal, and local law to change the borders to reflect the current population. We're not choosing to do this for fun. The City Council may make the districts as nearly equal in population, but they can also consider geography, communities of interest, cohesiveness, compactness of the territory. There's other state laws that you'll hear about in closed session. We did have several public hearings. We held our first hybrid meetings for the city, for City Commission with the Redistricting Commission. So these were all public hearings in both in person and on Zoom throughout the city all summer. We emailed notices in both Spanish and Vietnamese to all the neighborhood organizations, as well as to the contacts at community-based organizations throughout the city. We also posted notices on the City of San Jose's Nextdoor and Facebook, not the city clerks, the actual cities, to reach as many people as possible. Members of the public were invited to draw their own maps, and several of those constituents did present their draft maps. Over 9 meetings held throughout October and November, hundreds of members of the public attended the commission meetings and provided testimony. Based on all of that testimony, the commission narrowed it down to a community map, the unity map, which were both submitted by members of the public, and then they also created their own map called the commission map. They voted to move all 3 maps to council. The commission map received unanimous support. The community map received support from 9 of the 11 members, and the unity map received support from 6 of the 11 members. You will have 3 public meetings. At least one is required to be held in the evening or on a Saturday. Tonight is our evening meeting on November 30th. We also have public meetings scheduled December 7th and 14th, and the City Council must make a decision no later than January 11th. And now we can go to public comment. I said I'd make it fast.
Nice work, Tony. I will go straight to the public. We'll begin with the members who are here. Is
Yes.
that right?
Okay, so when I call your name, go ahead and come down. First person to the microphone, just go to the microphone, state your first name so we know which card is pulled. Don't wait to be in order. I have Marnie Kamzin, Antonina, Jay Plunkett, and Bien Doan. All of you make your way down. And then I have some more people I'll be calling once we get through a few of these first 4. So again, that's Marnie Kamzin, Antonina, Jay Plunkett, and Bien Doan. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name is Antonina. I'm here from Hyde Park, District 3, near First and Heading Street. Mayor Sam, and I know Raul's on board here, you both know me as that I'm one of the community members that work with other neighborhood associations within District 3. We work on common issues that affect my neighborhood as well as surrounding neighborhoods. The Unity Map dissects and splits a number of our community of interests apart, making it the map that brings about division. I support the Community Map. The Community Map displays best practices and keeps intact the communities that collaborate with their neighbors to continue working within their respective districts. Most importantly, the community map respects the geographical integrity of local neighborhoods and communities and minimizes their division. Please support the community map. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Thank you. I'm Marnie Kamzin, and I've lived in San Jose for 15 years. The Redistricting Commission has forwarded 3 maps for your consideration. I have many concerns about the Unity Map, which is created by special interest groups. This is such blatant gerrymandering that 4 of 11 commissioners mentioned gerrymandering when voting on this map. The Unity Map is an attempt to redraw our city's districts in a way that favors their narrow agenda. It would split many San Jose neighborhoods, and the groups promoting this map are misrepresenting the other options. I fully support the community map, and I hope you do too. It moves only 43,000 people as opposed to the 160,000 people the Unity Map moves into different districts. The community map was created by reaching out to neighborhood associations throughout the city and integrating their preferences. Each district retains district retains essentially the same racial demographics as.
Thank you. Next speaker. Sorry. Thank you.
Meetings, and I think Rachel is.
No, Megan, this is Grace.
Megan, sorry.
Yeah.
You have been fabulous. They have been here till midnight, so many nights.
Thank you, Marty.
And I want to thank them.
Thank you, Marty.
Okay, while you make your way to the microphone, I'd like to call Kimmy, Cheryl, and Long Win. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Plunkett. I'm a concerned resident, only representing myself here. I think you'll hear in the comments, people use the word disenfranchisement this evening and in the other meetings. There's one and only one way that San Jose voters will be disenfranchised by the process that we are going through here today, and that is voters moved from an odd district who currently would be voting in 2022 when they are shifted to an even district by the redistricting process, are then not voting until 2024. That's 2 years when they will not have any representative representing them on the San Jose City Council. And I ask, do you think it's appropriate that you have this power legally? If you're interested in learning more about this, you can search Margaret Weston disenfranchisement or redistricting, and you'll find a Yale Law article covering this in great detail. Thank you.
Next speaker. Let's just do this.
Good evening, Mayor and councils. My name is Bien Doan. I live here in District 7, and my family been here for more than 36 years. I represent my family and many community members to voice the concern regarding redistricting. Especially in District 7, we want to make sure that Dove Hill stay where it is. The unity map, which paid for by special interest group, which turned back the clock of progress, are motivated by political, racially divisive map, which pit Asian, Hispanic, and Caucasian against each other. This is a discriminatory, divisive, and silence the voice of the Vietnamese and Asian community. This is not the city I grew up in or the city I want. I want to have an inclusive city that where we respect, rejoice, and embrace cultural differences. City Council, you must reject the unity map and support the community map because it is fair, just, and keep our neighborhood and community together. Thank you.
Please come up to the microphone, but I'd also like to call Sandra and Jeff Christine.
My name is Kimmy. I'm a resident in city of San Jose for over 17 years. I'm also a Taiwanese American. I support a community map. It shows respect for communities all across the city. The unity map was created by political groups and they claim to represent Asians, but they lied. They say they would create a western downtown area that would have an equal number of Asian, Hispanic, and white people in districts.
Major concerns with the unity map is that it wedges a narrow sliver of District 2 between Districts 9 and 10 along Blossom Hill Road. This would greatly complicate developments there and silence the voices of residents most affected by those developments. The greater communities of interest in Districts 2 and 10 run north-south along the Monterey Highway and Almaden Expressway corridors. The community map preserves this orientation, but the unity map divides communities of interest by orienting the districts east and west. I agree that underserved residents need a stronger voice, but I don't believe that racially selected district boundaries will help. I've provided several better solutions in a letter to you and can list them now if given another minute.
Next speaker.
Hello, I support the community map. This map is the only map that minimizes disruption to the city of San Jose's communities, moving only about 43,000 residents compared to the unity map's 159,000 residents, almost 4 times. The community map also has the lowest racial deviation throughout the city at only 4.9%. In contrast, the unity map is 13.1%. This map is the most disruptive to our communities. Please support the community map. Thank you.
We're going to move on to Zoom. I currently have 168 people in attendance. I have 57 hands up currently. 59, it goes up as soon as I say that. So just letting you know where we stand now. I have Julia Borenson and then followed by Wade. Go ahead.
Hi there. Thank you for hearing our voices tonight. I just wanted to reaffirm so many other people, and please consider the community map. My family's lived in this valley for over 100 years, and these neighborhoods have deep roots. And so the less disruption there is, is the healthiest thing I think you can do for us. Thank you very much for listening.
Wade, followed by Jonathan Karp. Wade.
Hello, sorry about that. A bit of housekeeping. We were there earlier and we were told to leave because we couldn't bring our bikes in the building. Seems like San Jose should have a ability to secure a bicycle on a downtown city council meeting. I'm talking tonight in support of the community map. We've been involved in many of these meetings and many of the phone calls, and I've talked a number of times. Community map actually takes our half of the street and connects it to a district over the highway, over the railroad tracks, over the river, about a half-mile away. It's kind of crazy how the unity map separates the city. It looks like a gerrymandered map of somewhere in Texas. If you look at a Houston area gerrymandered map and look at our map, you'll laugh because the most celebrated gerrymandered districts, it seems like we're trying to copy those. So please support the community map. Thank you so much.
Jonathan Karp, followed by Jill Borders.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. I've been living in Nittany Park for 20 years, a neighborhood that, like so many neighborhoods in San Jose, were explicitly redlined through the 50s and facultatively redlined through the 60s, such that future Olympic athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos could not find a room to rent in my neighborhood to save their lives. The special interests spoken about by the community map supporters, which I will not malign the way they malign Unity Map. The special interests are civil rights groups and community groups. It's the only map under consideration that actually enfranchises the largest population, ethnic population, the Latino population in districts 3, 6, and East San Jose. Maintaining the current lines with a small amount of movement only reinforces the redlining of the past. You speak about equity, don't pay lip service to it.
Jill Borders, followed by R. Conda.
Hi, I live in District 10. Specifically, I live in the Imperial Mobile Home Estates. And I want to speak tonight on behalf of really wanting to impress upon you that I want to stay in District 10. I do not see how breaking up District 10 and District 9 and District 2 and having 2 come all the way across and having 10 go all the way down the foothills, it makes no sense. It takes me out of my district, puts it in my father's district, takes my father out of his district, moves him into mine. It's hilarious and makes no sense. The biggest thing I want to impress upon you, though, that I learned was that Jeffrey Buchanan from the Unity Map, Silicon Valley Rising, said that he wanted to group all the renters together. And I realized that that is what is happening, is he's trying to get all these renters together to supposedly give them a voice. And I want to say, first and foremost, I have a voice and I'm using it and I use it often, and it has nothing to do with where you group me together. That really bothers me that he is taking that approach to think that he can kind of take renters out of one district and put them in another to give them a voice. Thank you.
R. Conda, followed by Robert Brownstein. Go ahead. Mr. Conda. I see you're unmuted, but we're not hearing you. Okay, we're gonna come back to you after a few names. Robert Brownstein, followed by Nick Kawada.
Good evening. I'm speaking wearing a number of hats, one of which is being a condo owner in the Vendome neighborhood for about 25 years, and also being an active citizen, and also being someone who I think does more than my share in terms of community responsibility. I'm on the board of directors of 3 nonprofits, actually for. And according to the community map and its advocates, I don't exist. It's not that they disagree with me. They've defined me as a non-person. The relationships that I have with people in District 6, the kinds of activities that we've worked together on, they have vanished into thin air. I don't see how anybody can define a map as a community map when the basis of it is saying that people who have a different point of view or have different interests than they do simply are defined as non-people. The unity map treats people as people, and that is a substantial improvement over the so-called community map. Thank you.
Nick Kawada, followed by Erica Paul.
Mayor and members of the City Council, Nick Kawada, resident E4 and Policy Director for Silicon Valley Council of Nonprofits, one of the co-facilitators of the Nonprofit Racial Equity Action Leadership Coalition. As a member of a coalition of nonprofits and allies working towards racial justice, SVCN supports drawing San Jose district boundaries in a manner that does not suppress the votes of Black, Latinx, Asian, and Indigenous residents. The unity map created by a local coalition is currently the only map that does not suppress unified voices of people of color who have been historically unrepresented. These are the same organizations that work so hard to get vulnerable communities counted during the 2020 census, and despite previous comments, who have unfounded accusations of special interests, have only community concerns at heart. They have been the organizations out there during the pandemic doing the hard work, and we should listen to them because they work with the communities you are trying to elevate. We recommend that the City Council approve a map that does not diminish in any way the votes of Black, Latinx, Asian, and Indigenous residents. Thank you for your consideration.
Erica Paul, followed by R. Conda.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council. My name is Erica Paul. I live in San Jose. I am in favor of the unity map. I want our decision makers and our electoral maps to reflect our communities of interest. San Jose is a changing city, and the unity map prioritizes the needs of my community and will reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of our neighborhoods. As a resident of over 20 years, I strongly increase and ask for you to please consider the unity map, the representation of our minority residents and renters. The other maps under consideration would water down the votes of voters across certain districts. The unity map promotes fairness, it remains compact, and it's easy to identify. It works with San Jose's unique boundaries. The unity map understands growth in ways that make sense. I urge that we move forward with the unity map. Thank you for your time.
Arconda, followed by Buford Barr. Arconda. Okay, we're not able to hear you. We're gonna lower your hand. If you can fix your issues, just raise your hand and we'll come back to you. Buford Barr, followed by Mary Helen Doherty.
Yes, thank you for your time. I want to encourage you to support the community map. It is the only one that really supports the best interest of all of our citizens. And it keeps the existing communities of interest together. And it doesn't just try to manufacture civic election results. The unity map is blatant gerrymandering. And I think we should focus on our citizens and what's best for San Jose and not the special interest groups. With that said, I want to be sure you know that people that are supporting the unity map are sending out older copies of the community map with misleading information. So please be careful of that. Thank you for your time and your effort to make San Jose a fantastic city.
Mary Helen Doherty, followed by Ms. Rayan Mendoza.
My name is Mary Helen Doherty, a longtime resident of Negley Park in District 3. I request your support for the revised unity map. I believe it is the best option to ensure that the traditionally underrepresented voices of Latinx, Asian, and Black residents are more equitably represented in the next decade. Fairness is foundational to our democracy. The unity map also brings together communities of interest of working people, renters, and reflects the cultural, economic, and social needs of our families and neighborhoods. Thank you, and please support the Unity Map.
Ms. Rayan Mendoza, followed by Blair Beekman. Gabby Mendoza,
Hello, yes.
go ahead.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm a resident of San Jose and resident of District 7. I've been listening to you guys before, like an hour before I heard you guys talk about, but with so much passion when it comes to the recovery budget, caring about our communities. But you know what? If you care about communities, you will put through the Unity Map, because that's what the Unity Map does. For 2 months, we've been getting attacks from these people. They call themselves community map, but they're really not, because you not attack your own community when you call yourself a community map. And that's what you guys been doing since October and November, but we're still here and we're still gonna be here. The Unity Map give us a long-term fix for our voices in our communities, for the Black, Brown, Chicano, Asians. We haven't been here for 10, 20 years. We've been here for generations, okay? And listen to that, okay? Thank you very much.
Blair Beekman, followed by Nathan Ulsh.
Hi, thank you. Blair Beekman here. I think a lot of us have something to say about the redistricting maps. I hope as council, you can facilitate that these things have been brought to yourselves and we can all work on this well in the next few months. It's my real feeling that District 7 and the Willow Street area, I think that would be a really interesting, good combination for our future. It would take out a bit of the Mexican population in that area and even out the Asian population for District 3, which I think should have a lesser amount of business overall. We can move District 7 up into the San Jose State area, and that way District 7 Spartan Keys can be a part of the San Jose Union School District easier. To conclude, the Unity Map people have really tried to reach out and try to, that's what their unity idea is about for our future. How do we reach out and work?
Nathan Ulsh, followed by Jefferson Liu.
Good evening, Mayor Liccardo and council members. My name is Nathan Ulsh, the Director of Policy and Operations at the San Jose Downtown Association, serving and representing over 1,800 business and property owners, a majority being small business owners. We thank the council, commissioners, redistricting partners for your time on this very important topic and deliberating the future of San Jose. We have heard loud and clear from our members, as well as the residents of downtown, that we need to keep downtown one council district intact and cohesive. The community map accomplishes this. We have been involved for several weeks during the redistricting commission process and appreciate the numerous improvements that the community map has made based on the citywide community feedback. It should be noted that the community map was recommended to council with a 9-2 vote per redistricting commission, and the unity map was split 6-5. That said, we strongly recommend that the city council adopt the community map as the new citywide council district boundaries, or at least work off the basis of this map. Thank you very much for your time.
Jefferson Liu, followed by Victoria Pardita.
Hello, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me first get this out of the way by saying that I am an Asian American resident of San Jose, and nowhere have any Unity Map organizers come to ask for my input on their map. They claim to represent the interest of Asian Americans, but my interests are not being represented by their map. My input has not been represented, and I haven't even had a chance to discuss with them at all. That aside, let me bring up some statistics about the Unity Map, which pushes me in favor of the community map. The Unity Map will tear out 1 in 6 San Jose residents from their current districts and put them somewhere entirely new to them. That is 160,000 people affected. The community map does not do that. It keeps everyone as close as they can.
Victoria Pardita, followed by Betsy Hammer Carr.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Victoria Partida and I live in the Tropicana neighborhood in District 7. I want our decision makers and our electoral maps to reflect our communities of interest, which is why I'm supporting the Unity Map today, which I believe best supports my community. Since the very beginning, the Unity Map has prioritized the needs of my community, bringing together communities of interest in a way that uplifts the voices of workers, renters, communities of color, and our LGBTQ plus neighbors in a way that actively fights against the suppression or dilution of our people's votes. San Jose is a changing city. We can't simply defend the status quo and a history of decisions that have undermined certain voices while benefiting others. We need redistricting lines that respect every member of our community and reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of our families and neighborhoods. Thank you and have a good night.
Betsy Hammer Carr, followed by Rich Crowley.
Hi, my name is Betsy Hammer Carr, and I'm a lifelong resident of the Rose Garden neighborhood in San Jose. I strongly encourage you to choose the Unity Map. My neighborhood is defined by mixed lot sizes that have long given District 6 a naturally diverse demographic population. Since the very beginning, the Unity Map has prioritized the needs of my community, bringing together communities of interest in a way that uplifts the voices of workers, renters, communities of color, and an LGBTQ community in a way that actively fights against the suppression or dilution of our people's voices. San Jose is a changing city, and we can't simply defend the status quo and a history of decisions that have undermined certain voices while benefiting others. We need redistricting lines that respect every member of our community and reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of
Rich Crowley, followed by Ryan Jones.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, my name is Rich Crowley, and I come here this evening to endorse the community map. I've had a chance to look at both maps, and in looking at the Unity map, I would better describe that as the divide and conquer map. I remember back in high school when I looked in my U.S. history textbook, there was a strange map in that book. Underneath it, it said gerrymander. That's the last time I saw a map that was structured as much the same way as the Unity map. On the other hand, the community map, as many folks have said so far, keeps communities together, communities of interest, communities who have worked together before, communities that have done a lot of very, very positive things to make our city a great city and will continue to do so if we use that map. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Ryan Jones, followed by Mundo Escargega.
Hello, my name is Ryan Jones, and I'm a San Jose resident. I'm calling in support of the Unity Map. Not only does it keep and bring communities and neighborhoods together, it doesn't dilute the votes of the marginalized communities. All other maps being considered will work to suppress the voices of not only the renters, but Latinx, Black, and Asian communities. Thank you for your time.
Mundo Escargega, followed by Isabel Olazquaga.
Good evening, council members. My name is Mundo. I'm a 50-year resident of San Jose. Family lives in District 3, and I currently live in District 2. I'm in favor of the Unity Map. We need to consider San Jose's history when choosing our map. San Jose is a changing city, and the Unity Map prioritizes the needs of my community and will reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of our communities. The other maps under consideration water down the votes of voters across certain districts. The Unity Map significantly increases the representation of our minority residents and renters, especially in Districts 2 and 6. The Unity Map promotes fairness, it remains compact, it's easy to identify, and it works with San Jose's unique boundaries. The Unity Map has the lowest deviation of any of the maps, ensuring more equal representation for all of San Jose residents. I urge the community that we move forward with the Unity Map. Thank you.
Isabel, followed by Ingrid Molt.
Okay, hi, my name is Isabel Olasquaga. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here to support the Unity Map, which will ensure all votes have equal weight and each of our communities have equal resources. In South San Jose, where interests of wealthy suburban communities like Santa Teresa Foothills and Almaden Valley outsize voice over more working class neighborhoods. The Unity Map connects more multifamily housing, dense areas around 85, Blossom Hill, and Oak Grove community where I live. The Community Map in D4 instead chooses to keep voices of not only my community, but communities like mine to be suppressed. San Jose needs to do better. All voices need to be heard. Please vote the Unity Map. Thank you.
Ingrid Molt, followed by Laura H.
Hello, my name is Ingrid Molt, and I'm simply a resident of this county, and my vote is for the Unity Map. The Unity Map was carefully created based on the input and needs of its community members, individuals that live here, contribute and benefit from it, as well as stakeholders of this community, Asian Law Alliance, NAACP, La Raza Roundtable, Latino Leadership Alliance, Equality California, Somos Mayfair, Vietnamese American Roundtable. Everybody had a chance for input. Please consider the Unity Map. Vote yes on the Unity Map. Thank you.
Laura, followed by Carmen.
Hi, my name is Laura, and I am a resident of District 3 for about 15 years now. I am a renter, a probably forever renter, because I don't work in the tech industry. I work in public service. I want to echo the sentiments of all of my neighbors for the Unity Map. The Community Map removes densely populated Latinx neighborhoods out of my district, out of District 3, and replaces them with wider areas. It is important that the Unity Map will help ensure all the votes have an equal weight and we all have equal community resources. San Jose is a changing city. It has changed drastically in the last 15 years since I've lived here, with much more high price, lots of money moving in. And it's important to note that labor organizations and community organizations that helped form the Unity Map have not, maybe didn't reach out to these specific people in favor of the Unity Map or the Community Map, but they've been speaking to those on the ground floor for years and supporting us for years. So thank you for your time.
Carmen, followed by Cindy Vincent.
Thanks. My name is Carmen Brammer. I'm with the Black Leadership Kitchen Cabinet. I'm also a member of the nonprofit REAL Coalition. As a coalition of nonprofits and allies working towards racial justice, we support drawing San Jose's electoral district boundaries in a manner that does not suppress the votes of the African ancestry, Indigenous, Latinx, and Asian residents. The Unity Map is currently the only map that does not suppress the voices of people of color who have been historically underrepresented. I will not bash the Community Map, but I was never contacted by anyone who worked on the Community Map. We urge you to adopt a map that does not in any way diminish the votes of residents who have long been placed at a disadvantage in our community. Thank you.
Cindy Vincent, followed by Ben Vo.
Hello, my name is Cindy Vincent. I have lived in San Jose for over 40 years. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. In true Orwellian newspeak, the Unity Map uses gerrymandering as a means to create disharmony and to disenfranchise some of our citizens by breaking up long-standing established communities. This is the opposite of unity. San Jose faces unique opportunities and challenges in the coming years. There is no need to cheat on democracy and allow special interests to override the voice and will of the people. We who are San Jose citizens are better than that. I also believe our city council will do the right thing because they are better than that. We don't need to play the game with winners and losers when we can all be part of a better San Jose. Please support the Community Map.
Ben Vo, followed by Ted Earl.
Hello, members of hello, Mayor Ricardo and members of the council. My name is Ben Vo, and first off, I'm Vietnamese. I'm Asian American. In fact, in college, I studied Asian American Studies, and if you know what Asian American Studies is, studied ethnic studies, critical race theory, and I'm here today in support of the Unity Map because these special interest groups that folks have been talking about throughout the night, I just want to list off some of them, including the Vietnamese American Roundtable, the La Raza Roundtable, Vivo, NAACP Silicon Valley, Somos Mayfair, the Si Se Puede Collective, South Bay Labor Council. So we're guided by the inequities and really addressing the redlining and making sure that we strengthen our collective voice and move forward to address these impacts. Thank you.
Ted Earl, followed by Jeffrey Buchanan.
Yes, good evening, council members. My name is Ted Earl, and I'm president of the Thousand Oaks Neighborhood Association in District 9 and a lifetime resident of San Jose. I'm speaking this evening in support of the community map for the council tonight. The community map was developed by a group of volunteer neighborhood leaders adhering to redistricting laws and best practices to create fair and manageable boundaries that give all residents an equal voice. I want to state that I've participated in many of the meetings on this issue. I've observed that many well-funded special interest groups supporting the so-called Unity Map have been mobilized to support their position. This means that their scripted voices may be overly represented in a meeting such as this, where individual voices may be underrepresented. It's also important to reiterate that the community map passed with a 9-2 vote from the Redistricting Commission, whereas the Unity Map was almost stopped but passed by a single vote. Please approve the community map and reject the Unity Map. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Jeffrey Buchanan, followed by Yuri M.
Good evening, members of the council. Jeffrey Buchanan on behalf of Silicon Valley Rising Action. I'd encourage the council to adopt the Unity Map today as it considers redistricting plans. The civil rights, labor, and community organizations who helped draft the Unity Map worked with community members, reaching out to tens of thousands of San Jose residents who are members of our collective organizations to gather input through meetings, emails, town halls, and other outreach, but how they view their communities of interest. Despite the claims, this map has evolved over time to take in community input. We need to think critically about communities of interest and how our historic lines have empowered the voices of some communities and marginalized others. Yet before you are several maps like the community map that jam more residents into one of our highest need districts, District 5, reducing the representation of every East San Jose resident, and doing so in a way that dilutes Vietnamese votes in District 4, while reducing population in places like District 10, some of our perhaps areas that are of greater means, increasing that voice. This is a map that further divides our community, and so I really encourage you to dig deeper than
Yuri M., followed by Tim Bobian. Yuri?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So hi, my name is Yuri. I am from District 7. I'm in support of the Unity Map. The Unity Map doesn't, sorry, I was running. Doesn't accept gerrymandering. That's wrong. I know somebody said it. It was created to correct gerrymandering. And like some speakers said, it would confuse folks on who to talk to. That's probably because it wouldn't be all the concentrated white people in one area. And it wouldn't make it easy for them to vote wherever they want in place. And it sounds like gerrymandering to me. So I don't support the community map that keeps only the wealthier communities with the upper hand. Also, there was no consultant that drew the map, so that's a lie. And if you support the community map, then you support keeping certain communities oppressed. Please support the Unity Map instead of the community map, because enough is enough. And you guys are aware of Red.
Tim Bobian, followed by Andrew Macias.
Tim Bobian, representing the Santa Clara County Association of Realtors and our 6,000 plus members. We support the proposed community map and urge the council to adopt this proposal. The community map puts communities first, keeping neighborhoods together and empowered. This map proposal does the best job of keeping residents in their existing districts, allowing them minimal confusion and hardship when attempting to engage with their elected officials and municipality. Poorly drawn maps can divide communities and severely impact their ability to advocate to and vote for elected officials. SCORE urges the council from eliminating the Unity map from further consideration, as it does the exact opposite of its its name, does not unify the city or its residents, while rupturing neighborhoods, dividing residents, and is a clear attempt at gerrymandering to facilitate election results. SCORE asks the council to do the right thing by supporting the sensible community map that received overwhelming support from the Redistricting Commission. Thank you.
Andrew Macias, followed by Marissa Gorsline.
Good evening, council members, and thank you for your time. My name is Andrew Macias, and I'm born and raised in San Jose. And in my 34 years, I've lived on Toyon, Hofstetter, Aborn, and I'm currently renting near Oak Ridge. And I'm here in support of the Unity Map. I've worked for the city. I've worked at the fairgrounds. I've sold drinks downtown. I've over 300 hours volunteered for the Santa Clara Vanguard. And I was informed earlier, since I do not support more electronic billboards, I am in fact not a special interest group. I've seen how businesses as usual have treated these communities, and I still hear some of these speakers desperately trying to keep things as they have been. But if we allow the loudest, richest voices to constantly drown out the marginalized majority, then the current problems are only going to get worse. Some of their anger sounds like they might be mad JFK didn't arrest Joe Biden a couple weeks ago. But we can't afford business as usual. The Unity Map is the first step to a fair future for everyone. It's a step we can't afford to miss by catering to our most affluent communities. Our current lines demand a change more drastic than they will ever accept.
Marissa Gorsline, followed by Sarah Wang.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. As a third-generation San Josean who is a renter, I wish to express my support for the community map because this map maintains downtown in my neighborhood, the Vendome, within District 3. The community map also meets the state-required adopted criteria for redistricting, including natural boundaries, contiguity, and sharing common interests. Supporters of the Unity Map tout righting the wrongs of the past with their guiding principles based on race and supporting renters. If following the guidelines and principles of redistricting are important to you, then you must support the community map. Thank you.
Sarah Wang, followed by Tim Clausen.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Wang, and I am an Asian American. My family lived in District 6 for the past 20 years. I support the community map. Community map was drafted by community volunteers across the city who live in the communities, know the communities, and work for the best interests of the communities. It shows respect for communities all across the city and minimizes the number of people being disrupted. The Unity Map was paid for by a politically motivated special interest group. Whatever it claims, it does not and cannot represent our Asian communities. We, the Asian communities, want the community map. So please adopt the community map and reject the Unity Map. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Tim Clausen, followed by Nancy.
Hi, I'm Tim Clausen, president of the Vendome Neighborhood Association, and I'm here in support of the community map. The Unity Map severs the Vendome from D3 and moves us into D6. The community map keeps the Vendome whole and connected with our adjacent downtown neighbors. Similar to the commission map, it starts with the current district map and makes changes based on population and community input. The community map also complies with the redistricting guidelines. We find the community map to be the fairest and best option for our neighborhood and the city. The Vendome engages regularly with representatives from Northside, Hyde Park, Japantown, Hensley, and other downtown neighborhoods on various city government, neighborhood concerns, objectives, and improvements regarding downtown development, the San Jose Airport and its development, the Guadalupe Park River, the general and associated unhoused situation in the urban transit village. Our community of interest is with D3.
Nancy, followed by Victor Vasquez.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good, because my volume went out. I totally agree with Tim, the previous person, and I've lived in District 3 my whole life. I love my neighborhood, the Vendome and Japantown, of which I'm extremely involved. Therefore, I support the community map, which keeps us together and achieves what the Unity Map does without destroying communities. The community map uses legal and natural boundaries. The Unity Map is anything but legal and natural and would take away all the healthy efforts ever achieved to keep District 3 and all of downtown working in unison. to make neighborhoods safer, greener, and healthier. I believe without the community map, District 3 will fall apart, which it seems that is the goal of the unity map. The community map will represent everyone and keep us cohesive. There's no suppression with the community map. Thank you so much.
Victor Vasquez, followed by Tammy.
Good evening, Victor Vasquez at Somos Mayfair. I live and work in San Jose. Somos is supporting the unity maps. We want our decisions, our decision makers, to focus on our more vulnerable communities so our issues can be addressed and we center cross-racial and economic justice. The unity map exemplifies a way of unifying different communities from renters, communities of shared culture and economic and land interests. As a result, we've seen the positive impact on Raza Chicano representation by an increase of 1% in our most diverse districts, District 2 through 8, with the unity map. The unity maps also keep Reed Hill View and District 5, which is an important issue to us. And we also see that there is a positive impact on Black Americans in our city. It increases their representation as well. So that's the unity map. The unity map also receives support from the LGBT community groups as well. And we believe that that's also a positive representation of the communities that we must serve and empower. And we must change the status quo. So please vote for the unity map.
Tammy, followed by Robert Herrera.
Hello, I am a resident and voter in San Jose, and I'm asking you to please adopt the updated community map when redistricting San Jose. In the updated version of the community map, it will keep more neighborhoods together in many of the districts. Stand up against the other two maps, which are gerrymandering and created by special interest groups, and vote yes for the community map to keep the communities together. Thank you.
Robert Herrera, followed by Don Nguyen.
Good evening once again, esteemed council members. My name is Robert, and I have been a transplanted, community member of San Jose for the past 12 years, and coming from a dominantly Republican area of Orange County to what I understood was a democratically progressive area of the Bay Area, San Jose. I cannot be in support of the community map one bit. The unity map is the only way to go. It brings together a community that has been so long divided. I do not appreciate how people of who want the community map say we've been gerrymandering this whole time when gerrymandering took place a long time ago. It's time for the underserved Latino community, our Asian community, our Black communities to be united and to be able to show that we're here. That just because we don't have this tech money, whatever money that we came from, that we're here and that we make San Jose.
Don Nguyen, followed by Ingrid Granados.
Hello, I'm an Asian American in District 5, and I urge you to support the Unity Map. People claim special interest groups, but the Unity Map was created by civil rights and community-centric leaders with years of experience living in San Jose and their insights in mind. This is how we get a fair map and build consensus. The Unity Map keeps the neighborhoods and communities of San Jose whole in a way that accounts for growth rather than dividing us and fracturing underserved groups across districts to be less represented. The Unity Map promotes fairness, ensuring ethnic coalitions have an equal vote in their district and conforming to the Fair Maps Act. It empowers the Black community, which has been devastated by displacement, and ensures better representation of our Asian and Latinx communities. The Unity Map empowers traditionally redlined and marginalized communities. We cannot allow the voices of wealthier communities to overpower those who have most face injustice, same ones who cannot attend these meetings and voice their concerns. I support the Unity Map. Thank you.
Ingrid Granados, followed by Jonathan Liebman.
Hello, good evening. My name is Ingrid Granados, and I am a lifelong resident of San Jose. I currently live in District 3, and I am calling in support of the Unity Map. I was going to start by just mentioning all the points of why I support the Unity Map, but I really wanted to point out the hypocrisy that I have heard this evening by people who themselves are special interest groups, especially by some of the groups like the Real Estate Association that has represented the Community Map. I find it quite offensive that they are assuming that people like myself who are long-time residents, lifelong, like I've mentioned, but long-time activists for this community, who are people of special interest and not just people who are residents trying to move the city forward. They talk about wanting to keep things the way that they are. Well, the way that they are a reflection of a racist redlining history. It's time to move forward. The Unity Map is the only one that has done that by uniting people who have constantly been underrepresented.
Jonathan Liebman, followed by Dan Pan.
Hi, I'm a longtime resident of San Jose, and I urge the council to adopt the Unity Map. The Unity Map remains compact with easy to identify whole districts while also working with San Jose's unique boundaries and their intersection with unincorporated county land. The Unity Map promotes fairness, ensuring that ethnic coalitions have an equal vote in their district and conforming to the Fair Maps Act and the California Voting Rights Act. For example, it empowers the Black community, which has already been devastated by displacement. The Unity Map understands growth in a way that makes sense, such as having a whole Berryessa and North San Jose district and 2 separate downtown districts. Other maps account for growth by measly splitting neighborhoods or diluting the power of marginalized communities. The community map sounds like big business talking points as usual. I strongly urge the council to adopt and support the Unity Map. Thank you.
Dan Pan, followed by Jenny Zhao.
Oh, my name is Dan. Tonight, I'm here to support the community map, which was drafted by the community volunteers from across the city who are longtime San Jose residents and know exactly what's good for San Jose as a whole. Under the community map, San Jose communities and neighbors can work together to make the San Jose a better city with bright future. Please vote for community map. Thank you.
Jenny Zhao, followed by Krista De La Torre.
Hello, my name is Jenny Zhao. I am a San Jose resident for the past 22 years, and I'm also an Asian American. Tonight, I'm here to support the community map. It was drafted by the community volunteers from across the city. The only reason for them to spend months of their time on this one is to hold our community together, and they have my full trust. The Unity Map was drafted by the special interest groups to divide our communities in a gerrymandering way. Under the Unity Map, 16% of the San Jose residents will found themselves in a new district. Comparing with that, the community map minimize this number, keep it to only 4% of our residents to be in a new district. So please adopt the community map and reject the Unity Map. Thank you.
Krista De La Torre, followed by Melissa Willett.
Good evening, my name is Krista De La Torre, and I'm here to support the Unity Map. The Unity Map successfully brings communities of interest together and ensures that every San Jose city resident has a fair say in the representation. Compared to the community maps and other maps we consider, the Unity Map is by far the best for working families and renters. The Unity Map unites multifamily and rental neighborhoods along the Blossom Hill corridor that have been poorly represented in the past, thereby giving working families and families who rent a chance at true representative leadership. Moreover, due to rising rents and residential displacement, we have lost large numbers of Latino families in our city. The other maps being considered exacerbate the loss of voices of our historic Latino community in our city, reducing the share of their voters by over 1% in our most diverse districts. The Unity Map is the only map to mitigate this trend. I urge you to implement the Unity Map, for it is our best hope to create equitable city district lines for the next 10 years. Thank you so much.
Melissa Willett, followed by caller 7592.
Hi, my name is Melissa Willett, and I'm a member of District 7. I live in San Jose. I lived here for a very long time. I'm a parent raising my son here in District 7, and I'm actually not a special interest, but I do support the Unity Map. And I support it because I think it's cool that we can look back to 10, 20 years of what San Jose used to be. But what I'm really interested in is spending, the next 50 years in San Jose and raising my kid here and the next generations. And for that, we have to look to the Unity Map for the new lines for what San Jose should be and could be, better represented today by the Unity Map. So thank you so much. Bye.
Caller 7592, followed by Case Hill. Caller 7592, please press *6 to unmute.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I wish to express my opposition actually to all three forwarded plans. I think each of them has its flaws. I've actually submitted 3 plans this morning, one of which actually would create a Latinx majority District 3 in addition to Latinx majority District 5. So I do want to say about the unity map that it seems like some of the districts have very little modification, whereas other districts seem to have a lot of modification. So again, I wish to express my opposition to all 3 forwarded plans, and I hope that alternate plans could still be considered at this late date. And also please consider putting El Viso and the Golden Triangle region of San Jose into District 6. Thank you so much.
Case Hill, followed by Billy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Casey Hill. I'm the Executive Director of Vegilution and part of the Si Se Puede Collective and Real Coalition. I'm a longtime resident of District 6 and work and in service of District 5. I speak confidently on behalf not only of special interest groups, but of powerful and grounded Black and Brown voice. The community map preserves white privilege and homeowners at the expense of the voice of renters and people of color. It is anachronistic to our current and future reality. The Si Se Puede Collective and Real support the revised unity map, which uplifts the votes of Black, Latinx, Asian, and Indigenous residents. The unity map is currently the only map that does not suppress unified voices of people of color who have been historically underrepresented. I urge you to adopt a map that supports the critical work of grassroots organizations, advocates.
Billy, followed by Matthew Cuvedo.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So thanks everybody for being here tonight. I just want to say my name is Billy Manning. I live in the Erickson Association or the Erickson neighborhood in San Jose in District 9. And we currently share a very strong relationship within our neighborhood, along with the Thousand Oaks neighborhood and the Pinehurst neighborhoods. We have a very strong bond. We actually celebrate a lot of activities together throughout the years. And the unity map really kind of divides us and separates our neighborhood out from that community. So I would like to strongly urge that we support the community map. And to highlight that, I've heard on the call before that a lot of renters aren't really represented based on that, but our communities are made up of a high degree of renters. So I would just like to kind of urge that maybe council members can support the community map in addition to setting up renters associations very similar to neighborhood associations and maybe some district associations to go with that so we can actually provide better.
Matthew, followed by Gabriella.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. My name is Matthew Quevedo. Full disclosure, by day, you may know me as the Chief of Staff to Councilmember Matt Mahan. In my free time, I am the president of the VEP Community Association, representing the neighbors of Vista Park, Carson, and Parkview. On behalf of my board, I urge the council to adopt the community map. Our neighbors have requested to remain a united neighborhood within District 10, as we share many of the same issues with our surrounding areas. Thank you to the many residents throughout the city who are involved in this process, and to the Redistricting Commission and staff for shepherding this process through. Thank you.
Gabriella, followed by Julie Engelbrecht. Gabriella. Okay, we're going to move on to Julie Engelbrecht, followed by Joe Cervantes.
Julie Engelbrecht, artist, educator, and downtown resident for 25 years. Redistricting is an enormously powerful and important tool in a fair government. Nationally, we've seen mangling and gerrymandering normalized at the national level, so it's no surprise that this distortion has been proposed in the unity map, which claims to support minorities and LGBTQ communities, along with other marginalized communities. But facts and careful examination by council will show the unity map is misleadingly titled to trick folks by the forces behind it. And this should invalidate any consideration of the unity map. It's a cognitively dissident map. Words have meaning that should be honored. The community map keeps more neighbors with similar concerns and needs together, one of the expressed goals of redistricting, which recreates strong advocacy for shared concerns. Dividing districts, particularly along a major thoroughfare like First Street, removes active downtown voices and weakens downtown concerns. Create active.
Joe, followed by Huascar Castro.
Hi, my name's Joe Cervantes, and I support the community map, and I request that you reject the unity map. As mentioned earlier, the guidelines for redistricting are population balance, compactness, boundary preservation, communities of interest, and compliance with the Voting Rights Act regarding race-based redistricting. The Commission's own redistricting criteria state that if race is a predominant factor or as a result of considering race, the districts are oddly shaped, then the lines may be unconstitutional. The unity map violates most of the redistricting guidelines and appears to be a gerrymandered, racially motivated endeavor that may very well be unconstitutional. The unity map arguments center around redlining, generational wealth, creating race-concentrated communities, voter suppression, and some warped interpretation of equity, all of which are irrelevant to the redistricting process. Please reject the unity map and support the community map. Thanks.
Oscar Castro, followed by Alfonso Mendez.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, Council. My name is Huascar Castro, and I'm a resident of the Horace Mann neighborhood. And I'd like to speak tonight in support of the unity map. San Jose is a changing city. We can't simply defend the status quo and a history of decisions that have undermined certain voices while benefiting others. We need redistricting lines that respect every member of our community and reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of our families and neighborhoods. The unity map is the only map under consideration that does exactly that and does not further suppress the votes of Latino, Black, and Asian residents. All other maps being considered will work to considerably suppress the votes of not only renters, but reduce the share of Latinx, Asian, and Black voters in our most diverse districts. For that reason, and as we as a city continue to move to strive towards real racial equity, I urge Council to adopt the unity map. Thank you very much.
Alfonso, followed by Hui Tran. Alfonso Mendez.
Buenas noches. Yo apoyo el mapa. Yo soy miembro de la comunidad del Distrito 7 y apoyo el mapa de la unidad porque nos va a mantener unidos, ya que yo tengo 40 años de líder de esta comunidad y los otros mapas nos van a dividir y nos va a causar división en nuestra vecindad de Tropicana. Y yo apoyo el mapa de la unidad. Gracias.
Tony, do we have translation?
We do have interpretation, and he's being interpreted. I don't know how to get the Spanish channel into the council chambers.
Oh.
Let me see if they know how.
Okay.
No, el vato lo hizo. Es para otro ya.
Okay, can the interpreter speak? We're trying to determine if you're on the Spanish or the English channel.
Hello, this is Vincent, the Spanish
Okay.
interpreter.
Okay, is this the channel you're going to be interpreting on?
Yes, this is the channel
Okay.
I have been interpreting on.
Okay, then we picked the right one. So go ahead. Can you tell the speaker to go ahead and start over? And he'll get 2 minutes.
Okay, it was Mr. Alfonso Mendez, right?
Yes.
Okay, señor Alfonso Mendez, ¿me escucha?
Yes.
Señor Alfonso,
Alfonso needs to unmute himself.
¿tiene que prender su micrófono, señor Alfonso?
He was unmuted and he muted himself.
Usted tenía el micrófono prendido y lo apagó.
Okay. I'm going to ask Alfonso to put his hand back up. We'll come back to him. It's possible. And then we're going to switch back to the English channel in the council chambers and move on to Hui Tran. Wait, did he just unmute? Alfonso just unmuted. Thank you for bearing with us on this. Alfonso, go ahead.
Buenas noches. Yo apoyo el mapa de la unidad. Soy miembro vivo en el Distrito 7 y soy miembro de Tropicana Lanay, asociación. Y apoyo el mapa de la unidad porque los otros mapas nos van a dividir nuestra asociación y hemos trabajado por 40 años aquí en esta asociación y nos van a tirar el trabajo que hemos logrado al piso y por favor le pido a los concejales y al alcalde que nos apoyen para quedarnos en el mapa. Muchas gracias, que tengan buenas noches.
Our next speaker is Hui Tran, followed by Roland.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Hui Tran, and I speak tonight on behalf of the Vietnamese American Roundtable. We endorsed the Unity Map here, and we want to explain our reasons why. The Unity Map is the only map that was developed with correcting historical grievances of redlining and uplifting marginalized communities of colors in mind. The claim that the Unity Map is pushed by special interest groups is flat out wrong. It is irresponsible to equate paid staff of community-based organizations who have long advocated for their communities as being a special interest. The Unity Map is supported by the same groups who canvassed all over our neighborhoods to get everyone counted in the 2020 census, to get out to vote in past elections, and to inform, educate, and encourage community members to get involved in matters of social, racial, and economic justice. The Unity Map was shaped by this on-the-ground experience with intimate familiarity with communities whose voices and needs have been disregarded by our institutions and policies. Please support communities who have borne the brunt of systemic injustices and support the Unity Map.
Roland, followed by Brenda Doman.
Hi, this is Roland. I moved to District 2 in 1984. I'm opposed to Unity Map. We spent the best part of the last 3 decades trying to stitch District 2 back together after getting ripped in half by Highway 85. The community map maintains our balanced diversity with 1/3 Asians, 1/3 Latinos, and 1/3 of people like me known as others. I'm white, my wife is Asian, our last name is Brown, our grandchildren are half Samoans, my neighbors are black and their last name is Green, and I'm not making this up. We've got the best track record of any council electing diverse council members. Forrest William was black, Ash Carroll was Asian American, and our current council member, Sergio, is a Latino. Please do not let people who know nothing about District 2 repeat apart this so-called Unity Map. Thank you very much.
Brenda Doman, followed by Paul Soto.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I endorse the community map. It was created by the community, for the community, and our neighborhoods. Politically motivated special interest groups and nonprofit influencers from outside San Jose are attempting gerrymandering our city with a unity map. there is a unity map proposed for every major metro area and county in the United States. Please, City Council, vote for your community. Vote for the community map. Thank you.
Paul Soto, followed by call-in user 1.
Yes, Paul Soto from the from San Jose. I have 15 ancestors buried at Oak Hill Cemetery, and I have 5 at Calvary Cemetery. That's how rooted and connected I am to this area. The redlining maps, I doubt that there's been very many people that have even seen a redline document. I have 100 of them. I did San Jose to create that map, and it is sad blacks. Not only that, Willow Glen was annexed 8 months before those redline maps were drawn. We need to have a conversation, okay? Because none of those maps are legitimate. They carry none of the legitimacy unless they've had my stamp on them.
Call-in user 1, followed by Corey Quevedo.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I vote community. It's the map that makes sense. This unity map is being pushed by Silicon Valley Rising, which is not a good organization. Either is Sue Ellenberg, terrible county commissioner. She's pushing for the unity map. Of course she is. You want to talk about redlining? The Democrat Party is redlining this whole thing. Democrat Party is gerrymandering this. And it's really clear. And the people start talking about white people. You know, we're not white. We're Europeans. We're Europeans, okay? We're Europeans. White. It's all like you're white. Do you really want to be in District 9, people? You'll find out what white is being all about. This is the worst district ever.
Corey Quevedo, followed by Jose Pavon.
Hello, my name is Corey Quevedo, and I'm here representing my elderly mother who lives in District 7. I want our decision makers and our electoral maps to reflect her communities of interest, which is why I am supporting the Unity map today, which I believe best supports her community. Since the very beginning, the Unity map has prioritized the needs of my community, bringing together communities of interest in the way that uplifts the voices of workers, renters, communities of color, the LGBTQ neighborhoods in a way that actively fights against the suppression of dilution of our people's votes. San Jose is a changing city. We can't simply defend the status quo and history of decisions that have undermined certain voices while benefiting others. We need redistricting lines that respect every member of our community and reflect the cultural, economic, and social needs of our families and neighborhoods. Thank you, and please support the Unity map.
Jose Pavon, followed by Tammy Denota.
Good evening. My name is Jose Luis Pavon. I work for SCIU USWW. We represent security guards, janitors, airport workers in San Jose. It's really disturbing how supporters of the community map keep saying that we're somehow going to divide their city or create some kind of obstruction. They have wealth, they have power, they have historical privilege. The Unity map will bring more equitable power and democracy to the city of San Jose. In fact, the supporters of the community map, their policies are pushing gentrification, pushing people into homelessness, forcing people to leave the city. That is true disempowerment of the San Jose community. Please support the Unity map. Thank you.
Tammy Denota, followed by Charlie.
Hi, my name is Tammy Denota. I'm a lifelong resident of Evergreen, District 8. I'm a parent of 2 high school students, and I'm here to support the Unity map. I want our decision makers to, and our electoral maps to reflect our communities of interest, which is why I'm supporting the Unity map. which I believe best supports my community. Since the very beginning, the Unity Map has prioritized the needs of my community, bringing together communities of interest in a way that uplifts voices of workers, renters, communities of colors, the LGBT community, and neighbors that in a way that actively fights against the suppression or dilution of people's votes. Please support the Unity Map. I think that's the best thing we can do. Thank you.
Charlie, followed by Adriana.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Charlie Friedrichs. I would like to recognize the good work of the Redistricting Commission. I watched the end of the last meeting of the commission as they deliberated on what to send to City Council in their report. I noticed that at least one of the commission members did not approve of the Unity Map, but voted to send it to City Council only so it would not be withheld. I also noticed that the notes presented at the start of this meeting said that the Unity Map was approved by the commission 6-5. The 6-5 decision to send the Unity Map should be understood as the commission's commitment to a fair and transparent process. However, it should also be understood that the majority of commissioners did not approve the Unity Map because it deviated from the guidelines the commission was given. I urge you to respect the work of the Redistricting Commission and reject the community map, reject the Unity Map. Thank you.
Adriana, followed by Nora Morales.
Hello. My name is Adriana Garcia. I am a Chicana resident of District 7, someone who also grew up in Ginny Avenue by McKinley Elementary School. I'm a Chicana raising a young biracial boy in District 7, one of the most diverse sections of San Jose. I'm here to support the Unity Map. The City Council has an opportunity to reimagine a diverse San Jose with equitable power distributed among its residents, Black, Indigenous, Brown, Asians, renters, small business owners, single parents, youth, and the poor. The Unity Map will bring residents together that have been historically oppressed. A Unity Map that will challenge the traditional racist policy making and that someone here called natural and legal, and I call nativist thinking, that has in essence maintained white supremacy through its redlining mapping. So I hope that in this decision.
Nora, followed by Jose Villarro.
Sí, buenas noches a miembros del concilio. Sí, buenas.
Okay, hold on. Let us switch over the
Me
audio.
llamo Nora Morales y vivo en el distrito 10. Okay.
Go ahead.
Sí, buenas noches, miembro del concilio. Me llamo Nora Morales. Vivo en el distrito 10. Estoy llamando porque apoyo a la mapa. Apoyo a la mapa, nombrada la mapa unidad. Hemos luchado por muchos años por hacernos ciudadanos educados y registrarnos para votar. Por eso merecemos que nuestras voces no se dejen de oír. Y somos clase de trabajadora y tenemos derechos a ser escuchados y valorados. Tanto como la gente del distrito con dinero. Vota sí para la mapa unidad. Gracias y buenas noches.
Okay, Jose Villarro, followed by Maria.
Hola, buenas noches. ¿Sí me pueden escuchar?
Okay, switch over. Yes. Let us switch the audio over. So hold on just a second. Okay, go ahead.
Hola, buenas noches. I'm going to do this in English so that everybody can hear me. I'm calling from District 4, so I'm speaking to you, Councilmember Cohen. I'm also speaking to the other council members. I don't think Pam Foley or Matt Mahan, his chief of staff, already called in for the Unity Map, for the community map. I'm calling in for the Unity Map because that is the map that brings the most equity to communities that have not had it. I heard Paul Soto call in. I know most of y'all know Paul. He calls in and educates you guys all the time. Please know the history of San Jose. The east side of San Jose was made like that for a reason. The east side of San Jose was put to the mountains, set aside to the mountains because that is where the farm workers were at. So if you guys don't know about the history of San Jose, you guys don't know about redistricting, redlining, gerrymandering. So all this stuff about special interests coming in, I only got 2 seconds, but please stop.
Maria, followed by Myra Pelagio. Maria? Okay, we're going to move on to Myra Pelagio, followed by Maxine Lubo.
Hi, everybody. Buenas noches. My name is Mara Pelagio, and I am the Executive Director with Luna, Latinos United for Any America. And I am speaking tonight in support of the Unity Map. We're specifically supporting the Tropicana Lanai neighborhood and Valley Palm staying in District 7, but also the Reed Hillview Airport staying in District 5. The Unity Map is the only one that promotes equity and representation for historically underrepresented communities. The updated map is the only map under consideration by the Commission that does not radically suppress the votes of the Latino residents in downtown District 3, 6, and East San Jose District 5. Other maps being considered will work to considerably suppress the voices of not only renters, but the Latinx and other communities of colors in our most diverse districts. While these maps actively divide communities, the Unity Map works to bring them together. I hope that you support the Unity Map tonight. Thank you.
Maxine Lubo, followed by Isabella Luong.
Hi, my name is Maxine, and I've lived in Nagley Park for 45 years. And I have seen our community grow with the university, with Japantown, with Vendome, and with all the neighborhoods that we associate with. The community map keeps us together, keeps us working well. We have many interests alike. We should not have a division from the university. Our stickers on our car say university. Why would you make a line down 10th, 11th Street to divide us? The community map is the only one that makes any sense and makes we have all sorts of diverse people. We have LGBT, we have Hispanics, Blacks, Indians, everyone in this neighborhood of Nagley Park. And we have worked for 45 years with downtown to rid it of many things that were bad. Leave us alone, keep the community map.
Isabella Luong, followed by Forrest.
Hi, my name is Isabella Luong. I am a Vietnamese American, a District 6 resident and renter, and board member of the Vietnamese American Roundtable. And I'm asking you to support the Unity Map, as this is the only map developed in mind with correcting historical grievances of redlining and uplifting marginalized communities of color. The Vietnamese American Roundtable does not support the community map because while the current version preserves most of the boundaries that the Unity Map does in East San Jose, its original design showed an intention only to preserve the boundaries of traditional neighborhoods next to downtown and overlooks impacts to the rest of our city. We ask you to stand with our allies who have been thoughtful and intentional in their work to strengthen marginalized communities and to address the impacts of redlining and historical disenfranchisement. Please support the community. Please support the Unity Map.
Forrest, followed by Sean. Go ahead, Forrest. I see you're unmuted, but we're not hearing you. Okay, we're going to move on to Sean, followed by Neil Park McClintock.
Good evening. My name is Sean Reinhart, and I live in District 10. I support the community map. It shows respect for communities all across the city, moves the minimal number of people, and was supported by a 92 vote of the Redistricting Commission. I oppose the unity map. It splits my district in half and moves over 140,000 people from one district to another. Think about that. That's over an entire district being moved for political purposes. Please adopt the community map.
And Neil Park McClintock, followed by Hector Moreno. Neil?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Neil Park McClintock. Hello, Mayor and City Council. I'm one of the community organizers who helped with the outreach that became and continues to be the Unity Map. And so I'm in support of it as well. I can assure you we reached out to the community, its leaders, and this is evidenced by the number of changes that have been made by the Unity mapping table since its first draft, which is a very large number. The Unity Map brings together the Alameda, LGBTQ heavy parts of downtown, including SOFA, areas that heatwave studies done by Equality California have shown to best represent people like me. The community map does not do this, and so I would ask a question here. Are we a community of interest? And is our representation less important than the high volume of longtime homeowners present here tonight? And at the end of the day, there's no possible way for the City Council to approve a map that is in the best interest of every single community of interest. And so I think we do have to consider which communities of interest we need to prioritize. And I don't believe the community map has adequately done that for the LGBT community. And I think that should be taken seriously by the City Council as such. Also, legal counsel said that none of the maps are legal concern during the Redistricting Commission hearings. And that's an important point to make. Thank you.
Hector Moreno, followed by Zin.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Hector Moreno, born and raised in San Jose in District 5 in Mount Pleasant neighborhood, son of a farm worker. I'm here in support of the Unity Map. The Unity Map is the most equitable map that for San Jose residents. And it gives us a voice, finally. It gives us a voice to my future generations, my two kids that are in college, gives them a voice. They're probably going to be renters because they probably can't afford to buy in this town. So please support the Unity Map. And I know Matt Mayhem and Pam Foley won't, so we know how they're going to vote. But the rest of the council, please support the Unity Map. And thank you for your time.
Zin, followed by Doan.
Hello, my name is Zain. I'm an immigrant. I work in San Jose and I'm here to support the Unity Map because as an Asian American, I strongly believe that the Unity Map is the only map that can bring us together and help the working class people like us. I don't appreciate when people saying the Unity Map is a particular interest group, but I will let you all know that it's time for you all to interest us. I've been working in the field as a canvasser, and I know what is happening to our community and what their need is. I can deeply feel the imbalance of the residents' living environments. Please don't judge, just like enlarge your people interest in what you need. Please also look forward to see the changes. The Unity Map is the best for the color community and not suppress our voices. I would strongly request the council to adopt the Unity Map because it can promote the fairness and have people to be united.
On Doan, followed by Alex Wynn.
Hi, my name is Ann Doan. I am an Asian American, and our family been living here for the last 36 years. I support the community map 100%. The community map keeps our neighborhoods and the community together. The unity map is just trying to divide our community. And they're trying to silence the Asian community voice. This is not the San Jose that I want. So I ask that the city councils please only support the community map and reject the unity map. Thank you.
Alex Wynn, followed by Gabriella.
Hi, my name is Alex
Nguyen, and I'm a longtime resident of District 7 and recent and current resident in the Evergreen. To see that many friends and fully represent them. And I'm in support of the new map. Another district where there are many people, me as a POC brothers and sisters, means that power ethnic group. There's barely any businesses represented in San Jose. And I'm a small business owner, and I want to be able to support people who are small business owners as well. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, Gabriella, let's try you again. I know you had problems earlier.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Hi, my name is Gabriela Garcon Gupta. I live in District 9 and I grew up in District 10. I'm calling in support of the Unity Map. The Unity Map is the most fair map for all the districts and all the residents of San Jose. We've had a high number of people calling in from homeowner associations in specific districts, but the Unity Map overall is the best map for all the residents of San Jose, especially the ones that have been disenfranchised. A lot of people have already said it. San Jose has a history of redlining, and the Unity Map increases the representation for these underrepresented groups, both ethnic and economic. Thank you.
Ha True, followed by Tina Morrill.
Hi, here, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Hatril. I have been in District 5 and almost 40 years, and I work for Intel. I retired person. I believe when I moved here, the city San Jose is not in the Santa Clara yet. So I believe the community map is good for the San Jose, and I support 100%. Reject the unity map. Thank you very much.
Tina, followed by Araceli Gutierrez.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tina Morrill. I live in the Vendome neighborhood in District 3. And I would like to tell you a little bit about the Vendome neighborhood. It has a lot of working poor, including me, a lot of blue collar, a lot of affluence. There's quite a bit of diversity when it comes to the socioeconomic status. And we work with neighbors from other neighborhoods, Japantown, Hyde Park, North Side. There's a lot of diversity there, not just racial diversity, but also ages and socioeconomic status. So I'm hoping that you will support the community map. It keeps all of us together, all of us diverse people together. And we are able to work on things that we've worked on together for a long period of time. So again, I hope that you will support the community map and keep us together.
Araceli Gutierrez, followed by Maria.
Good evening, Council. I'm calling in support of the Unity Map. You have a unique opportunity to imagine and work towards a San Jose that reflects its community and to create a more equitable city for its residents. I urge you to support the Unity Map. Thank you.
Maria, followed by Todd Williams.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Maria Rocha. I would like to express my concern this evening for the East Side neighborhood areas. The Unity Map is the only map under consideration by the Commission that does not further suppress the votes of Latino, Black, and Asian residents. All the other maps, the Community Map and default being considered, will work to considerably suppress the votes of not only renters, but reduce the share of Latino, Asian, and Black voters in our most diverse districts by almost 3% compared to the Unity Map. I support the Unity Map, and it doesn't limit me, but other competing neighborhoods. Due to rising rents here in the Bay Area and residential displacement, we have lost large numbers of Latino families in our city, having them move to other counties and having them commute daily for 6 hours on the road without being necessary.
Brian, followed by Sissy.
Thank you very much. I hope I agree that the community map probably is better. To the council, to city staff, to the lady, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, that has run these many marathon sessions. I couldn't do what you do. And again, thank you. This has been one of the best. I mean, I've seen some gerrymandering sections. People should go to Texas. I'm sorry to mention that. Anyways, again, I can't thank you, Mayor Liccardo, and to the council. It's been a great session. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Yield my time.
Sissy, followed by Dak Doan. Sissy. Okay, we're going to move on to Dak Doan.
Hi, my name is Jack Doan. I am a Vietnamese American. The Unity map does not represent me. I want to be represented with the community map. Please recommend the community map to the city council. Thank you very much.
Back to the council.
All right, thank you. I believe we'll now move to public comment on any items that are not on the agenda.
Yes, this is for open forum. This is not for any item that has already been heard. So this is not to talk about redistricting or any other item again. This is just open forum for items not on the agenda.
Thank you for clarifying that, Tony.
Blair Beekman, followed by Paul Soto.
Yes. Hi, Blair Beekman here. Hopefully I can accomplish that. And today I just wanted to offer a factoid that the future of our subsidy process in San Jose is going to be an issue of, there's going to be issues of finding housing for urban village things. Subsidy is going to be used for that, for urban village issues. I don't think that's the right use of subsidy. We have to use subsidy in terms of equity and, you know, how it can help low income people, not rich developers. Good luck how we can talk about that in the next few months. And boy, I have real trouble saying it, but to try to quickly offer, I really hope that District 7 can be next to District 6 and next District 3 by Google Village in the future to bring those close together. It's an important concept I hope we can work on coming up. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Paul Soto, followed by Brian.
Yeah, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. For some reason, this doesn't feel like a democracy. Like you can censor my speech, what it is that I have to say as a citizen with 6 generations in this city, 6 generations, all of them having to contend with the symptoms that reverberated out from all of these systems ever since July 14th of 1846, when Thomas Fallon planted that American flag and stated that this is manifest destiny, and that as a policy, we are going to decimate these populations, and we are going to be the dominant one, and we are going to control. And Nobeli and Alemani, they are the ones that hooked up with Burnett in order to establish Santa Clara University and everything that permeated from that. You know how I know? Go to Mission Santa Clara's cemetery, and Burnett's got an obelisk, and on top of the obelisk is a cross. The connection between Masonry and Catholicism.
Call-in user 1. Oh, sorry, Brian, followed by call-in user 1.
Mayor Liccardo and council, Mayor, we're not really quote unquote friends, but I've always, you know, you helped me get a price for the trailer because I misread my deed. It's still a great project. 9 more kids. 9 more. How many more? Our species has to change. We can't keep letting children be afraid at school to get shot. It's not right. Mayor Carter, you've tried to offer some things, but it is guns and stuff, but it's also a heart issue, and it's really eating our country alive. And we have to do something about it, or we're not going to have a country. And the war my father fought to keep this country, I just can't imagine that not being true. Thank you. Yield my time.
Call-in user 1, followed by Jose Villarreal.
I mean, where do I start? This city is a disaster. You go downtown, I call it Plywood City. You know, we have poor police we have poor police coverage. They can't put out a fire where I live. I don't know, you know, they want to make road diets to create more traffic. And I want to know one thing. They're going to do this urban village where they're going to dig a massive hole in the ground for a parking garage and tear down all the buildings. You know what kind of dirt and dust and debris is what's going to be in the air? I want to know what the environmental factors are on that, and all the heavy machinery and trucks and electricity and water that's going to be used. What kind of environmental thing is that? It's not at all environmental. And you guys keep pushing these ridiculous urban villages. It's going to create a lot of pollution and traffic.
Jose Villarreal, followed by Todd Williams.
Hello, my name is Jose Villarreal. I'm just calling in because I really want to ask for the option to move the mayor election to the presidential years as a standalone ballot measure. I know you guys try to put it on the last ballot, but you put it with the strong mayor one. And, you know, people weren't feeling Sam Ricardo at the time and it didn't pass. But I really think that moving this will bring equity. More people will show up to vote, and the San Jose mayor will have a real representation of what they want as the mayor. So I'm asking for that to be a standalone ballot measure when you guys decide coming up, and put it alone, please, so that it can pass, because a lot of people want this. I yield my time.
Todd Williams, followed by Roland.
I had my hand raised the whole time and you called me as next in the queue, but then you didn't call on me. Can I speak on redistricting for 1 minute?
Yeah, go ahead. You kept dropping off for us for some reason. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Todd Williams from the Vendome resident neighborhood. I ask that you please reject special interest and keep redistricting in the hands of local residents. As a gay man, I know it can be a difficult step to move from a community formed by the fight for equal rights to a larger community for the benefit of all. Reverse gerrymandering for past wrongs is not correct. It's time to apply the golden rule. I hear people saying they don't want their neighborhoods broken up or separated from their adjacent communities. This is what we want too. Please keep the downtown together, and with the Vendome not oddly carved out, I ask you to support the community map and fairness for all. Thank you.
Roland, followed by Andrew Macias.
Thank you. So I'd like to make a couple of comments about the way we conducted the meeting today. And that's a result of poor material being presented by staff to commissioners. The first example I was going to give you is what happened at the Charter Commission last night. The final report was incomplete and was posted 6 hours before the meeting. Guess what? They had to reschedule another emergency meeting tomorrow evening. Waste of staff time. Then you had the Airport Commission. We wasted an hour of city council time and of the public time. Guess what? We now have to send it back to the Airport Commission once again because of incompleted material. This has to stop. Last thing I want to talk about is when we talk about food for the children, there is only one pot out there. It's called the general fund. And when you go out saying you don't want $2.5 million from airport billboards, that's saying you don't want $2.5 million for food for the children. Thank you and good night.
Andrew Macias, followed by Gabby Mendoza.
Mayor. I just wanted to mirror what I heard one of the other community members mention about the moving the presidential or the mayoral election to the presidential years. I think that sounds really useful, and it would bring a lot more registered voters out. Again, that's just a community member, not a special interest opinion. But I think that would be something worth looking into, and I yield my time. Thank you.
Gabby Mendoza, followed by Sissy.
Yes, yes, thank you for your time. I just want to say we need to watch the clock a little bit better in these meetings, because I'm been noticing that sometimes we're giving extra seconds, and these seconds are precious when we're trying to this is serious stuff, and we need to be very careful with that, and I would really appreciate that. And thank you for your time. I yield my time. Bye.
Okay, Sissy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you want to talk about redistricting since we couldn't get your mic working before?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sissy Polina, and my family have lived in San Jose for almost 4 decades. And I am strongly supporting the community map. It meant to bring all of our neighborhoods, all race, all colors together as a community together. That's what I really love about, and that's what I would like to see San Jose to become that way. I strongly support the community map, and I really appreciate it, the mayor and the council members for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Jill Borders.
Hi, I'm sorry, it took me a second to find it. A couple weeks ago, it might have been even last, I don't know, I'm sorry, it's late. This is involving listening to the retirement funds, and the gentleman was talking a few weeks back about how we were, as a city, investing into equities, and how that was going to be a great way forward. And I really had no idea that was happening, and wanted to get a little bit more information. I don't really know who to talk to, what to do. I know you can't answer questions, but my biggest concern is that we as a city, I don't want us investing in a bunch of housing stocks like BlackRock and a bunch of REITs. We're going to bring down the whole house with our city if we continue to be just like everybody else, and all these pension funds and everything that are investing in housing. It's really just not right. Thank you.
Back to the council.
Mayor, are you sure you don't want to do 8.1 and 10.2 now? I'm kidding.
Is there a motion?
I don't think we can take it back, can we?
Nope. It's already voted.
There's some public comment cards, I think.
I have no public comment cards for 10.2.
No, I think there's some open forum public comment cards over there.
No,
No,
those are blank cards.
But thank you for being thorough, Councilmember Foley. The meeting's adjourned.